In today's video, we are going to share which is better, a VPS hosting or a shared hosting. If you don't know the difference between these two or how they are used, we're going to cover all of that in today's video. We're going to share exactly what each of these hosting options are, why you might want to use them, and which ultimately is going to be better for your specific situation. And at the end of the video, we're actually going to show you how to set up a hosting plan with one of our favorite hosting providers. So stick around to the end of the video because you are not going to want to miss that. Let's start with what VPS means. VPS stands for Virtual Private Server. Now let's briefly discuss the different types of servers and how you can think of them. So for the sake of this illustration, let's imagine a server is a physical computer. And for servers, there are shared servers, private servers, and dedicated servers. Shared servers share the resources on a computer with other websites. Shared servers are great for beginners with not a lot of traffic going to their website. When you see speeds on your website starting to slow, then it might be time to go to a private server. And a private server is just a portion of a server or a computer set aside for your own use. Now there are still others using resources on the same computer as you, but you have a specific part of the computer dedicated for your own use and no one else. And lastly, we have the dedicated server, which is a complete server or computer for your own use. And generally, as you go up the chain of command here from shared server to private server to dedicated server, you're going to have more security and faster speeds. Okay, now that we know a little bit more about the different types of servers, let's get right into seeing which is better, the VPS or the shared hosting. First, we're going to do a performance comparison. Let's first start with the performance of the virtual private server or the VPS. A virtual private server offers dedicated resources, and some of these include portions of CPU, RAM, and storage, resulting in more consistent performance. This is going to be ideal for websites that require more resources, such as growing businesses, e-commerce sites, and websites with moderate traffic. And an example here is a website receiving about 20,000 views per month. That's going to benefit from the enhanced performance of a VPS. In terms of some tips to get the best performance out of your VPS, you should regularly monitor your server's resource usage and adjust configurations as needed to ensure optimal performance. Now let's talk a little bit about the performance of shared hosting. In shared hosting, all websites on the same server share all of the same resources, and this can lead to resource contention and slower performance during peak times. Shared hosting is going to be great for smaller websites, personal blogs, and small business sites with low to moderate traffic. An example of a website that would perform really well on shared hosting is a personal blog that receives about 5,000 monthly visitors. In terms of performance, there's a couple things that you can do on shared hosting to optimize it. The first thing you can do is compressing images, and these are to have compressed images on your site, using caching, and minimizing the use of heavy plugins. These optimizations are really going to make a difference for shared hosting. I know personally for my website, I had too large of images at one time and it was taking forever to load the page. So that's something that you want to be aware of if you have a shared hosting plan. Now let's talk about scalability. We'll start with shared hosting this time. Shared hosting plans typically offer limited scalability. This really makes it hard to accommodate significant traffic increases or resource demands. And again, a scenario that is great for shared hosting is websites with stable, low to moderate traffic that does not anticipate any rapid growth. But what's great about shared hosting is you can always start with shared hosting, and if you need to upgrade, then you can go to a VPS plan. Now let's talk about the scalability of a VPS or virtual private server. In terms of a VPS, the scalability is very flexible. You can easily upgrade resources like CPU, RAM, and storage without significant downtime. And this is going to be ideal for websites that require flexibility and scalable resources. In terms of your path to upgrade with a VPS, it's usually just a couple clicks in your control panel, so it's very easy to do. Now let's get into the cost comparison. Let's start with the cost of shared hosting plans. Shared hosting plans are generally the most affordable option when it comes to web hosting, which makes it really great for beginners just starting out. So an example of a really affordable web hosting plan is about $2.99 per month. And if you stick around to the end of the video, we're actually going to show you how to set up one of those plans with one of our favorite web hosting providers. Let's talk briefly about the cost for a VPS. VPSs are generally a little bit more expensive than shared hosting due to their dedicated resources. An affordable VPS hosting plan would cost you about $4.99 per month, so not that much more expensive. Now let's talk about security and control. For shared hosting, security risks are higher due to the shared environment, but reputable hosting providers have strong security measures that mitigate this risk. In terms of control for shared hosting, there really is very limited control over the settings and configuration. And in terms of some security tips, just be sure with shared hosting to create strong passwords, keep your software up to date, and implement security plugins to enhance protection. On the other hand, VPS offers a higher level of security due to better isolation from other users. And in terms of control over configuration and settings, VPS provides substantial control when compared to a shared hosting plan. And some security tips for VPS hosting is to regularly update your server's security settings, use firewalls, and monitor for any unusual activity. Okay, let's talk briefly about some of the pros and cons for shared web hosting and VPS hosting. For shared hosting, the main pros are that it's cost effective, easy to manage, and very ideal for beginners because of the ease of use. In terms of cons, there are limited resources with a shared hosting, potential for some performance issues, and less control over your server settings. In terms of some pros for VPS hosting, you're going to have more control than shared hosting, better performance, and scalability. In terms of some of the cons of VPS hosting, it is a little bit more expensive than shared hosting. Also, you're still going to share some resources. If you want a dedicated server that's specifically for you, then you're going to have to go with a private server. And we actually have a video on dedicated servers that we'll be sure to leave linked down below in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, now that we know the difference between a shared server and a virtual private server, we're going to tell you who is going to benefit from each of these. But first, we're going to show you a walkthrough of one of our favorite platforms to set up a web hosting with, and that is Hostinger. Now, we recommend Hostinger to all of our viewers for many different reasons. Firstly, they're very affordable and have some of the best rates in the industry for web hosting. They're also super easy and intuitive to use, and their customer support team is amazing. So go ahead and click on that link down below in the description, and we're going to walk through setting up a regular shared hosting account here now. So once you've clicked on that link down below in the description, it should bring you to a page that looks like this. Now, this is the Hostinger landing page, and you'll see for only $2.99 per month, we can get our shared web hosting plan started today. We'll also leave the link to the VPS hosting plan if you want to get that, but for most people, shared hosting is going to be a great place to start out. So before we get started here, you'll see that there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and Hostinger is actually really great about this. I had to get a refund for one of my websites, and it was no issue at all. It was just a single button click within their website. So just know that it's really at no risk to you to get started and try it out today. Once you're ready to get started, go ahead and click Start Now. And once you've done that, it'll bring us down here to all three options of shared hosting plans that they have. The first one is premium, and it's $2.99 per month. Then there's the business option, which is $3.99 per month. And lastly, there is the cloud startup option that is $7.99 per month. Now, for most of the people watching this video, the premium plan is going to be more than enough, but let's just go ahead and run through some of the features to see if you might need to go with the business plan. In terms of websites, both the premium and the business plan allow for 100 websites, and the cloud startup plan allows for 300 websites. The premium plan allows for 25,000 monthly visitors, and the business plan allows for 100,000 monthly visitors. The premium plan has 100 gigs of storage, whereas the business plan has 200 gigs of storage. They both come with unlimited free SSL, a free email, and the premium plan comes with weekly backups, whereas the business plan comes with daily backups. They also both include a free domain, which is a value of $9.99. In terms of some other features like WordPress and the Hostinger website builder, the premium plan is going to be plenty fine just starting out, but if you want to upgrade to the business plan for the more advanced WordPress features, then you might want to look into that. Also, the same thing is true with the Hostinger website builder. It has some of the basic tools, but the more advanced tools are included in that business plan. In terms of security, the premium plan has standard DDoS protection, whereas the business plan has enhanced DDoS protection. They both have a web application firewall, a malware scanner, and some other features here too. And in terms of service and support, both of them have a 30-day money-back guarantee, just like we talked about, a 99.9% uptime guarantee, global data centers, and 24/7 customer support. So like we said, most of you are probably just going to want to start out with this premium option. So let's just go ahead and click that now. Once we click choose that plan, it'll bring us to this page here, and we'll have to choose a period for our web hosting. Now, the only one that we don't recommend is the 1 month because it's so expensive at that $11.99. So if you lock in for at least 12 months, you'll get that rate for $2.99 per month, which is a great deal. Once you've selected the period of hosting that you'd like, go ahead and create an account, adding your email address and a password. And as you continue to scroll down, just go ahead and enter your personal information here and your street address. Once you've done that, you'll see that the total is $35.88, but do not forget to add our special coupon code under have a coupon code. And that coupon code is my first website. Once you've added that, you'll see your total go from $35.88 all the way down to $32.29, which is under $35 to get a web hosting plan for a year. Like we said, really one of the best deals in the market for web hosting. It's really a no-brainer. Once you finish with that and you've input the coupon code, go ahead and enter your name and credit card information here. And then you're ready to submit your secure payment here. Just go ahead and press that button, and that will start your web hosting plan with Hostinger. Now that you know how to set up your web hosting plan, let's talk about who should use a VPS versus a shared hosting plan. Let's start with who should use VPS hosting. The first one is growing websites. VPSs are ideal for websites that have outgrown their shared hosting plan and need more resources. So an example of this could be a growing blog, small to medium-sized business websites, and online stores with moderate traffic. The next example is e-commerce sites. E-commerce sites that require reliable performance, security, and the ability to handle traffic spikes are going to benefit from VPS hosting. An example of this would be an online store with multiple products and a steady flow of customers. The third example for someone who would need VPS web hosting is resource-intensive applications. Websites or applications that need more CPU, RAM, and storage that a shared hosting plan can provide are going to benefit from a VPS. And some examples are websites with custom applications, databases, and interactive elements. And the fourth group here that's going to benefit from a VPS are developers and agencies. Developers and agencies that need more control over their server environment for testing, development, and client sites are going to benefit from VPS hosting. An example is a web development agency managing multiple client websites. All right, now who is going to benefit from shared hosting? Let's talk about those. The first is beginners and small websites, like we talked about. Shared hosting is ideal for people just getting started out who don't need many resources. And these are going to be personal blogs, portfolio websites, and small business websites. Another group that's really going to benefit from shared hosting is cost-conscious users. If you're looking for an affordable solution without needing extensive resources or control, then shared hosting is going to be great for you. Some examples of these are hobby websites, small nonprofits, and informational sites. Another group that's going to benefit from a shared hosting plan are low traffic websites. Websites that do not expect a significant amount of traffic and can benefit from the lower amount of resources are going to be great with shared hosting. Examples of these are local business websites and small community forums. And the last group here that are going to benefit from a shared hosting plan are those looking for ease of management. Those who prefer a simple, easy to manage hosting solution with very little technical knowledge required are going to benefit from a shared hosting plan. Some examples are individuals or small businesses without a dedicated IT team. They're going to be great for shared hosting. That's everything that you need to know about VPS hosting versus shared hosting. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please leave us a like and subscribe down below. This channel is dedicated to providing you free tutorials and videos like this one that help you start and grow your first website. We'll be sure to leave that link down below to Hostinger in the description of the video, as well as some of the other resources that we talked about. Now just note, if you do use our link for Hostinger, whether you're using the shared hosting plan or the VPS plan, we do get a small referral fee at no additional cost to you. This really helps us keep creating free videos like this, so thank you so much in advance for using our links. Also, if you're still looking to create your first website but you don't know where to get started, we actually created a free tool that we'll leave linked down below in the description as well. Be sure to check that out. We really think it can help you if you're just getting started. With that said, thank you so much for watching. We wish you the best on your website building journey, and we will see you in the next video.